I gave 7 years of my life to a man I thought was my forever, only to watch him give a ring to someone else after 3 months. So tell me, was I just the rehearsal for his real life? My name is Jen. I grew up in church. Faith wasn't something I came to later in life. It was all I knew. I was raised in it. And in that world, love meant something specific. It wasn't casual. You guarded your heart. You prayed about it. You waited for the right person. And when you found them, you stayed. So when Mackie came into my life, I didn't take it lightly. He was my first of everything. First boyfriend, first love, first person I ever pictured a future with. And honestly, it was good. Really good. The kind of relationship where you laugh a lot, where everything feels easy, where you can't imagine your life without that person in it. We were happy, and for a while, that was enough. The more time passed, the more I started building, not just in the relationship, but in my heart. I'd imagine what our home would look like, what kind of wife I needed to become. I started reading, growing, fixing things in myself that I thought needed fixing. Not because someone told me to, but because I genuinely wanted to show up well for the life I thought we were building together. By year 5, it wasn't just imagining anymore. I opened a savings account specifically for our future, for a wedding I hadn't been proposed to yet, but felt certain was coming. Because why wouldn't it? We had 5 years. We had history. We had survived things together that most people walk away from. I was preparing, and I was doing it quietly, not to pressure him, but because in my heart, I was already there. I was ready. But somewhere around year 6, something shifted. It wasn't one big moment. It was slower than that, quieter. Small things started feeling heavy. Little arguments didn't stay little. What used to get resolved in an afternoon started stretching into days, then weeks. Silence became the longest conversation we had. I'd bring up the future, gently, carefully, and the room would change. He'd get vague. He was not ready. There was always something else to sort out first, always a reason to wait a little longer. And I'd walk away from those conversations feeling like I'd asked for too much. But I didn't leave, and I kept showing up. I kept being the one who understands, the one who adjusts, the one who stays. Love is patient. Love is kind. So I stayed patient. I stayed kind. I kept telling myself, every relationship goes through seasons. I held on. I prayed. I tried harder. But slowly, I started to feel like I was the only one fighting for something. There's a difference between going through a season and living in a pattern. And by year 7, I had to be honest with myself. This wasn't a season. This was a cycle. The same silence, the same shutdown, the same feeling of reaching for someone who kept stepping just slightly out of reach. I loved him, but I also had to love myself. So I ended it. I thought I was making the hardest decision of my life. I thought I was choosing my dignity over my comfort. 3 months later, I found out he was already with someone new. And not long after that, he proposed to her. 3 months! I don't think anything prepares you for that. Not the breakup, but being replaced that fast. It messes with your head. Because suddenly, nothing makes sense anymore. You start doing the math you were never supposed to do. 7 years versus 3 months. All those conversations where I carefully brought up the future, versus however that conversation went with her. And the question just sits there, heavy and uninvited. What did she have that I didn't? Was it me? Was I too much? Not enough? Too patient? Did I make it too easy for him to stay without ever really committing? That kind of pain, it doesn't just sit in your heart. It follows you, into your thoughts and into your sleep. There were nights I couldn't sleep, just lying there, replaying everything, trying to understand where it all changed, and trying to understand why I wasn't the one. I'm still hurt. I'm not healed, but I'm moving forward. And slowly, I'm learning things I wish I'd known sooner. Learning how to choose myself this time. Learning that love isn't just about staying. It's also about being valued. And my value was never tied to someone else's choice. I'm learning that patience doesn't mean you ignore the signs. Yes, patience is a virtue, but it's not a strategy. And I'm learning that kindness shouldn't cost you your worth. Be kind, but not at the expense of yourself and your peace. You are not just someone's soft place to land while they figure out who they really want. I'm hoping maybe one day this will all make sense. Maybe one day I'll understand why it had to happen this way. But right now, there's still a question I carry with me. If there is a woman in your life who has been patient with you, who has stayed, who has shown you over and over again that she is choosing you, and you keep making her wait because you're not ready, what exactly are you waiting for? Why is it that you can give someone years of your life and still not be the one they choose, while someone else gets forever in just a few months? Why do you stay for years with the one who nurtures you, only to marry the one you just met? I don't have that answer, but I think you do.